Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day today because I am. I have a testimony about a promise being fulfilled in 2023. I have to go a little back, just a little. But in 2016, something happened to me. Something that no parent, no person would ever want to experience. If you watched this testimony before, the one when I testified about my daughter Jubilee passing away, in this testimony, I said this in the past, it seems like it was always an attack against my children. So in 2016, that's what happened. My son, my firstborn, he was taken away from me, and it was an ugly custody battle. It was something I didn't expect. It was something that I didn't deserve. And I say that not in like a prideful way, but I say that because I'm a great mother. But the fan was thrown at me, and things that had taken place in my family was used against me. And I sat in a courtroom and I watched a judge, and I watched the lawyer for the other party tell me how I would never be anything, and just really tore me down. At the time, I didn't know who I was, so these things really got to me. In the midst of that, a lot of things came out that were untrue about me. Like, these things weren't just like little things you play about. No, these were like big, gigantic things that people who knew me, people who were close to me, people who were around me every day, some of them believed or they questioned, even though they were around me every day. And it was very hard because I didn't know why any of this was going on, It was like a Judas and Jesus situation, literally. So that happened, and after that happened, I was in a very depressive state. I was so depressed. I was very, very, very depressed when I think about it. And then I think about what God has done. It just blesses me. But I was very, very, very depressed. So much had happened, and it was like, why did all this happen, But God is faithful. So one day I was in my living room, and this is after I had prayed to God for like certain things that I needed. I needed a house, I needed a car, I needed furniture in my house. It's just certain things I needed. And I was so depressed and I was so in my head that I used to walk around talking to no one. It was really an attack of the enemy when I think back on it, but I didn't have the revelation that I have now, so I didn't know how to fight. This is another reason why my heart goes out to people, because there's so many people going through stuff and they don't know how to fight, So I used to walk around my house or wherever I was at, and I would just be saying obscene words, cursing out loud. When I think about it, it wasn't me. But I would constantly be having the enemy in my head, reminding me of what the lawyer said about me, reminding me of what the judge said about me, reminding me of the lies that was put out about me, the things that people believed, and I didn't understand why they believed them. And I would just be in my head all day. It was not abundant life all day. And I would just be like really like mumbling. Imagine someone walking around the house all day. And sometimes it would come out loud, because I was like arguing with this voice in my head, and I was having thoughts that I had never had before, and this went on for a while. And one day I was in my living room and I was listening to gospel music, and it was like a light. I know it was nothing but Jesus. A light came on in my head, and I started to look around, and everything that I had prayed for was in front of me, but I couldn't see it because it was so much darkness in my head, and I began to cry and weep and thank God. Fast forward to 2023, when Apostle declared that this is the year that the promise will be fulfilled. During this time, I heard Apostle teach or speak about in one of her teachings about having a sound mind is like a reward for like resisting the enemy, being in battle and resisting the enemy. Every thought, not letting it get past you. It's like a reward that God gives you. During 2023, I was resisting the enemy. He would lies and stuff, but I was like resisting him. All kind of lies, trying to attack my heart, trying to attack just crazy stuff. But I was resisting him. And even when it didn't feel like it was working, but I knew it was working, I continued to resist the enemy. Every time I didn't stop. I kept going. And Apostle declared on the last day of 2023 that she said she prophesied that you will receive a miracle like she did on the second to the last day of the year. Yeah. I hope I'm saying it right. And January 1st, I woke up. God is so faithful. I woke up and my mind was quiet. My mind was quiet. And I went to the park. And as I go to the park and I'm looking at the waterfall, I see rainbows in the waterfall. I hope I'm saying it right. And I was just looking around and I was trying to figure it out because I felt different. But I'm like, what is this? Because it's new. It's a new thing. When you have a sound mind, when you hear nothing, and this is now the second day, after the enemy attacking your mind so much and you never really experiencing a sound mind, it's the best blessing ever. It's like the best blessing ever. I really feel like I've been crowned with a reward of a sound mind. But I woke up and I went to the park. It's one of my favorite parks. And my mind was silent. My mind was silent. Back in 2016, the story that I told y'all about, that's when really, probably even before then, I'm pretty sure, but really then, that's when the enemy really started in my mind so much. It was no abundant life in my mind. And then I used to watch like horror movies and stuff, and the ID channel and stuff like that to kind of get away from him talking in my mind. But to be honest, that made it worse. That made me more paranoid. So 2023, it's like I had to undo, the stuff I allowed, not knowingly, but I had to undo it by resisting. So after resisting the enemy and using the principles that I have been taught while being planted at 5F Church, pastored by Apostle Catherine Crick, my mind is sound. And that was one promise that God answered in 2023. I have a sound mind. It's like I've never experienced anything like this before. Truly having a sound mind, not hearing the lies of the enemy. I know we're always in a war, and we're always like in a war of the enemy, but it feels like I've won that war. With the help of God, with the help of my leader, Apostle Catherine Crick, I've overcame the enemy in that area, and it just feels amazing. I couldn't ask for anything more. He's already done so much, even though I know he wants to do more, and I welcome that. I just thank Jesus for dying for us so that we can have this abundant life. I thank Jesus just for being Jesus, just for his heart, just for his surrender, just for his obedience, just for him, the person. 2023 was most definitely the year that the promise was fulfilled. Y'all have a great day. I love y'all. Bye.